Welcome. In this video, we'll take a look at the Doctor Strange Hero Pack for Marvel Champions, the card game. So something very exciting came in the mail today. Doctor Strange. So a 60 card hero pack, one pre-built 40 card Doctor Strange deck, 24 new cards can be added to any other hero deck, a Nemesis set featuring the malicious Baron Mordo, and it's time to dig into this. So we get some nice artwork here. Then on the back, explaining our new character. So once a talented neurosurgeon, Stephen Strange's life was transformed when he mastered the mystical arts and camouflage. Now he fights to protect our reality as the Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange. So he comes with another invocation deck. He is the master of the mystic arts and Sorcerer Supreme to represent his incredible knowledge and magical power. Begins each game with a special 5-card invocation deck in addition to his player deck. To create the invocation deck, we'll shuffle all 5 cards together and place it face down next to your identity card. During the game, play with the top card of the invocation deck face up at all times. You may use Doctor Strange's Spell Mastery action to resolve the ability on that card, and after that card is resolved, it is placed in a special discard pile that belongs to the invocation deck. The invocation deck is ever empty, shuffle it, and create a new deck. There's no penalty for doing this. And he comes with protection. So let's go ahead and take a look at his cards. So first, Doctor Strange, Thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 2. The Spell Mastery has an action, exhaust Doctor Strange and pay the cost of the top card of the invocation deck. We'll look at those here in a little bit. Resolve the special ability on that card. Hand size of 5 and 10 hit points in his hero form, and that's fairly standard. And then on his alter ego side is Stephen Strange, recovery of 3, and a hand size of 6. Mystic, Stephen Strange begins the game with an invocation deck. See the insert that we've already seen. Natural talent, as an action, discard the top card of the invocation deck. Limit once per phase. So fairly standard, good numbers there. Now his base 15 cards. Starting with Wong, an ally, cost of 3, 3 health, Thwart of 1, attack of 2, Mystic, action, exhaust Wong, choose to either heal 1 damage from your identity, so either side, or discard the top card of the invocation deck. So not bad for a constant 1-point healer. Then we've got 2 astral projections, which is an event costing 2, spell and thwart as a hero action, choose a scheme. Remove 3 threat from that scheme and look at the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon on that card, remove 1 additional threat from the chosen scheme. That's pretty good as a hero action. So minimum of 3 threat removed, maybe up to 6. And you get to see what's coming to see if you want to stay in hero form or flip over. Then Magic Blast. Event costing 3. It's an attack and a spell. It's a hero action. Deal 5 damage to an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printed, if resource has physical, we stun that enemy. Energy, deal 2 damage to that enemy. Mental, confuse the enemy. And wild, all of the above. So nothing negative there. So 3 damage or 3 cost for 5 damage, maybe up to 7. Pretty decent. Then we have Master of the Mystic Arts. An event costing 1 is a hero action. Pay the printed cost to the top card of the invocation deck. Resolve its special ability, then place it back on top of the invocation deck face up. So depending on what those 5 cards are, for an extra resource and a card, we might be able to get one of those spells off twice. Then Mystic Studies, an event costing 1. It's an alter ego action. Search your deck and discard pile for a Doctor Strange card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. That's good at helping us out when we need something specific. 2 protective wards. Event costing 1 as a spell, hero interrupt. When a treachery is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and discard it. And that is a great card. So we've got the Sanctum Sanctorum. A support, cost of 1. It's a location. It's an alter ego action. Exhaust this, shuffle a spell card from your discard pile into your deck and draw 1 card. Totally good with that. Then we've got our Cloak of Levitation, an upgrade with cost of 2. Gain the aerial trait. It's an artifact and item. It's a hero action. Exhaust this and ready Doctor Strange. That's worth its cost there. Then we have 2 magical enhancements. Upgrade, cost of 1. Condition spell, play under any player's control. Your hero gets +1 thwart, attack, and defense. Force interrupt. When the round ends, discard this. So pretty good, especially if you have ways to ready. So team him up with Captain America or just himself. Something good there. And then the Eye of Agamotto is an upgrade, cost of 2. Artifact item is a hero resource. Exhaust the Eye of Agamotto. Generate a wild resource. I always like getting our resource generation. So there's our base 15 cards. And he came with protection, so we'll check those out. Brother Voodoo, cost of 3, an ally with thwart of 2, but it'll take 2 damage for doing that. An attack of 1, health of 3. He's an Avenger and a Mystic. So response, after Brother Voodoo enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Then we have Clea, an ally with a cost of 2, 2 health, 4/1, attack of 1. A Mystic with interrupt. When she is defeated, shuffle her into her owner's deck. It's not bad, cheap cost. Something we can get out there easy and protect us from big hits. Got the Iron Fist, cost of 4, thwart of 1, attack of 2, health of 3. The Defender, Iron Fist entered play with 2 Mystic counters on him. So response, when Iron Fist attacks an enemy, remove 1 Mystic counter from him, stun that enemy and deal 1 damage to it. So he's got a way of possibly taking out a tough status before doing his initial damage. Then we have 3 Desperate Defense cards. Events cost of 1. It's a hero interrupt. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage from that attack, ready your hero. Not bad. Momentum Shift. It's a hero action. It's an attack. Heal 2 damage from your hero. Then deal 2 damage to an enemy. I like that. And of course our 2 power protections. And then 2 med teams. So old cards using 3 medical counters. Enters play with 3 counters. When those are gone, discard this card. As an action, exhaust med team and remove 1 medical counter from it. Heal 2 damage from a friendly character. Then we've got a Night Nurse, one call support. Uses 3 medical counters. It's an action. Exhaust the Night Nurse, remove 1 medical counter from her. Heal 1 damage from a hero and discard 1 status card from it. Then Unflappable. As a condition, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Response, after you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust Unflappable and draw a card. Then our basic cards, we've got 3 warnings, cost of 0 event. So defense, interrupt when a hero would take any amount of damage, reduce that amount by 1. So I guess if you really need to save your life, or if you've got an ability going off if you don't take damage, that'll work. Then we've got our 3 basic resource cards, Energy, Genius, and Strength. Avengers Mansion, that we've seen before, max 1 per player. As an action, exhaust this, choose a player, that player draws a card for a cost of 4. And then we have the Sorcerer Supreme. It's an upgrade, cost of 2. Gives us a title, play only if you have the Mystic trait. You get +1 hand size while in hero form. I'm all about that. And then his obligation. He's got a physical toll. Give to the Stephen Strange player. You may flip to alter ego form and choose. Exhaust Stephen Strange, remove physical toll from the game. Or the next event you play costs 3 additional resources. Discard this obligation after you play an event. So that's a different mechanic. Then looking at his nemesis, the Baron Mordo, scheme of 2, attack of 2, health of 5, an elite mystic. So forced interrupt. When Baron Mordo attacks you, discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printed resource has physical, you're stunned. Energy, take 2 damage. Mental, you are confused. And wild, all of the above. So that looks familiar and not a fan. In a scheme, open the Dark Dimension. When revealed, place the top card of the Invocation deck face down under the scheme. When defeated, shuffle the Invocation card under here into the Invocation deck. So it's just taking away one of our spells. It's going to give us an acceleration token and comes in with 3 threat per player. Then we've got 2 counter spells. So conditioned spell attached to your hero. Force interrupt when you play an event, cancel its effects and discard it. Then discard this card. So that's a new mechanic, bringing in cards to put on our heroes. And then thought casting. When revealed an alter ego, discard a card from your hand with the highest cost. Place threat on the main scheme equal to the printed cost of that card. And when revealed in hero mode, discard a card from your hand with the highest cost. Take damage equal to the printed cost of that card. Pretty neat. Then our cards for the other aspects. We have 3 skilled strikes. Event costing 0, which is a skill, and interrupt. When your hero makes a basic attack, it gets +2 attack for that attack. And for justice, we have foiled, 3 of those, an event costing 0. An interrupt when a boost card is turned face up during a scheme activation, cancel its boost icons. Then for leadership, just 1 Iron Man. It's an ally with 2 thwart, 2 attack, cost of 4, health of 3. It's an Avenger, reduce the cost to play each upgrade on Iron Man by 1. So pretty interesting. Now let's look at our Invocation deck. So 5 cards in this. First one's an event, cost of 2, Crimson Bands of Kitterek. It's an Invocation. Special, stun an enemy and deal 7 damage to it. Place this card in the Invocation deck discard pile. So, cost of 2 for 7 damage. We'll take that, along with our 1 card that let us play the top 1 for 1 cost and keep it there. So 7 damage. Images of Icon. Event costing 1. Special, confuse the villain or remove 4 threat from a scheme. Place this card in the Invocation deck discard pile. 7 Rings of Ragador. Event costing 1. Special, give up to 3 characters each a tough status card. Place this card in the Invocation deck discard pile. So that's good for our allies and herself. Vapors of Voltor. Event costing 0. Special, choose a status card in play. Place that status card with a different status card and place this card in the Invocation deck discard pile. That's going to be nice if we can turn a tough on the villain to a stunned, or vice versa, turn a stunned on us to a tough. And then the Winds of Watum. Event costing 0. Special, draw 3 cards. Place this card in the Invocation deck discard pile. And that is everything. A Doctor Strange Hero Pack for Marvel Champions the card game. As always, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.